It's the sound in a courtroom, crowded every face in gloom. Truth on trial under high one light. Shadows dancing in the dead of night. Fingers pointing secrets to bear. Lies entwined in the heavy air. The jury's watching. The facts won't do. Judge and jury, kings of fate, deciding life's honesty. I'm live on the docket. It's past 4:45. Oh, sorry. Okay, fine. Mm-hmm. Can y'all still hear me? Comments. Welcome, welcome. How are you? I hope you're doing well. Let's go ahead and wrap the second half of today. Let's see. Whew. All right. So when they broke, let me turn this down a little bit. When we broke for lunch, turn it down a little bit more. That's the channel song, by the way. I hope you like it. It's an original. I do own the rights to that song. I'm proud of it. Let's see, 13 hours ago. 2 hours ago. 110, they're back. Okay. So they did their lunch break. Let me put my earbuds on so I could do my sound check. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Come on in. Thank you for coming back to wrap the rest of the day with me. Let me turn this down all the way down. It's like in my ear now. Let me turn off the music. Okay, so why did I just click that button? I knew I shouldn't have clicked that button. I pressed the button. And I did. And I pressed that button and I did. Okay, guys. So when we left, the defense was up to bat. And there was a brief discussion before they broke for lunch. They were discussing basically. Listen, check sound check sound one, check sound two. Okay, my sound sounds good. All right. So they were discussing Cassie's, I guess, previously discussed deadline. They indicated that she had a specific cutoff time that she needed to be done with her testimony. Um, Judge Subramani was very adamant with Agnifilo that they needed to stick to the deadline. And Diddy's lead attorney, Agnifilo, was adamant that they probably couldn't because they view Cassie's testimony as extremely critical and an integral part of the case, because I think they're looking at her as like the prosecution's star witness. And I totally get it. She's probably the only person that's on the prosecution's wish list had that long of a standing relationship with Sean. You know what I'm saying? So it makes sense. But at 1:10 p.m., they're back. Judge. Miss S.T.V. Estevano has a witness had let me do my pronunciation on her name. Okay, Estevao. I was saying it right the first time. I was saying it the right way all day. I thought I was pronouncing it wrong, so I'm happy that I was getting that right. Judge, Miss Estevao, um, you may proceed. Combs's attorney. Miss Ventura, this is from Mr. Combs to you. You respond with, oh, wait a minute. I think we did that already. The explicit text. Hold on. Hold on, y'all. Yeah, we did that already. Hold on. Combs, were you afraid? How did you get them there? Okay, when she flattered her. And then Combs, Mr. Leslie. I thought I was in the right spot. Combs is, you wrote, I see Carrie. Okay, no. Okay, you don't want to read them. I'll read you, all right? Un momento, por favor. I had a little bit of technical difficulties getting on. It was kind of like, seriously, it was hard because of the simple fact that I couldn't get my background picture up. And I was like, what? Why? Stream has definitely been giving me a run for my money. When I say a run for my money, it has been driving me absolutely knucking plucks today. I was like, why? So I was a little bit behind and I was like, oh my gosh, I'm so okay. I was like, oh gosh. But such is life. Okay. 88 Johnson, objection. That's sustained. It was just, it was just like, are you serious? This is the last thing I need. Did Mr. Combs's mood depend? Submarinian. Rephrase, judge. Okay, we'll break. And then this is where him and Agnafilo have a brief exchange. And then Agnafilo goes, he says, we might not be able to finish tomorrow. This is the most important witness, judge. For months, we said this witness had to be off the stand by the end of the week. AUSA, our direct day, um, yeah, our direct was a day and a half. Limit them to that. It sounds like maybe Cassie, do y'all think that her doctor may have like intervened and said, I don't think that she should endure lengthy cross examination because of the stress that it might cause? Because he just said our direct, like they were given an actual directive. But, anyways, the judge says show Miss Ventura the exhibits in advance. Maybe just ask her questions. Maybe just ask her questions rather than these exhibits. We have a timing concern. Agnafilo. They called two witnesses to start. That wasn't our choice. This, I'm sorry, wait. It's a critically important witness. Judge streamlined things. So then they break, and now they're back at 1:10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We're back. Miss Esty, I just pronounced her name with my speak. Hold on. Miss Estevao, has the witness had a chance to view the exhibits? AUSA, they are lengthy. Judge, we'll do the best that we can. I was told this witness would be off the stand by the end of the week. We let the jury go early yesterday. Judge, if there's something that really needs to be done on cross after lunch tomorrow, I may allow it. We have we have to leave time for redirect. This witness is being responsive. Cassie Ventura enters, jury enters. Combs, Estevao. Let's turn to GX 4.11. AUSA Johnson. It's not an evidence. Estevao. So B 4-14, page 3 and 4, you wrote, I love our FOs when we both want it. You felt that? Ventura, well, I'm just going to call her Cassie. Cassie, loving FOs weren't words that point, weren't words at that point. Combs' attorney. Mr. Combs wrote to you, I want to freak out right now. And that, you wrote that, uh, you wanted it too. LOL, me too. Cassie, I texted more than that, Combs' attorney. But did you text that to him? Mr. Combs wrote to you, Giles is available if you are into it. Combs's attorney, you could have said yes or no. And you said, love you, Cassie. There was no yes or no. Combs's attorney, bring up B 4.20, page 2. Mr. Combs wrote, do I have your permission to set up freaky fun? You wrote ovulation. Cassie, yes. Combs's attorney, here, what do you say? Cassie, I asked which hotel. I must have called him in between. I don't want to assume anything. Estevino, he said, montage. You said you could also go to uh pleasure pleasure chest. What would you get there? Cassie, actual supplies. Estevino, what supplies? Cassie, lubricants, outfits. Estevino, he says, have fun, impress me. You say, okay. He says, can we kiss a lot? What do you say? Cassie, yes. Estevino, you wrote, I left the iPad. Cassie, I don't know whose iPad this meant. Estevino, Mr. Combs wrote, I've this is a typo. It says I've be there right after. I think they meant to say I'll be there, like I will, but it says I've be there. But you got to understand when they're doing these updates, they're doing it right at it as it's happening. So sometimes autocorrect can happen. Sometimes they could just miss it. But it should be I'll be there right after my session. This was in June 2017. Do you remember arguments you were having at this time? Ventura, not specifically. Combs's attorney. Here you say the game starts at 10 p.m. No breaking character at 8 a.m. No breaking character to 8 a.m. Cassie, this was a game a friend of mine told me a way of, I'm sorry, this was a game a friend of mine told me a way to rekindle your romance. Combs's attorney, by doing something different in the bedroom? Cassie, it's a whole getting into character thing. Combs's attorney, Mr. Combs said, let's get some outfits and go to X Club. Cassie respond. She didn't say they don't have a response here. Combs's attorney, Mr. Combs wrote, surprise package message coming from out of state. Why can't I reach you? What do you say? Cassie, I was getting my brows done. Estevino, did you come to know Mr. Combs was leaving to FO to go see Kim Porter? Cassie, yes. Estevino, how did you find out about Gina? How did you feel? Did it upset you? Cassie, yes. Estevino, it prompted arguments? Cassie, it did. Estevino, and he thought you were not faithful. What were his reactions? Cassie, it was scary. Estevino, Mr. Combs wrote to you, let's do something different in NYC this weekend. FYI, Dave hit me. What does hit mean? Cassie reached out, Estevino, and Daniel contacted you. Did this mean you might have a FO? Cassie, might. Estevino, he tells you, you better put me on VIP, vibrate alarm, or something. He's frustrating. Wait a minute. He's frustrated you don't answer his texts fast enough? Cassie, right. Estevino, you tell him to come to New York, understanding there could be an FO. Cassie, maybe. Estevino, you also saw you also saw the Book of Mormon. Cassie, yes, and she laughs. Estevino, masked pleasure. If that wait, if that X club, I think it's supposed to be is, because it's not if that. It's got to be is. Is that an X club? Cassie, I assume. Estevino, he asked, are you ready for tonight? What do you say? Cassie, yes, I just have to get some things. Cassie, this is not about what I felt, right? Because you are skipping over a lot here. Estevino, what did you write? Cassie, as much as you think you're Bruce Willis, you're not. Your kids were babies when we started dating. Estevino, if you saw him on social media on vacation with, and then there's a comma and it just said, it was heartbreaking. Cassie, it could be. I was 7. I think this is, oh wow. This says I was 7 years in. So 7 years into their relationship, Diddy was still kind of going back and forth, like a ping pong ball between Cassie and Kim Porter. That's incredible. Um, but I mean, I could understand because the age difference, the grooming process, the power dynamic, accustomed to the lifestyle. Let's be real here. Things like that probably allowed her to overlook certain things over the years. Just being honest. Estevino. And what about this about Gina? You wrote, I don't want to be a side piece, but I'll treat you as a king. Estevino, you wanted to be the main girlfriend? Cassie, in 2013, yes. Estevino, you saw social media posts of Mr. Combs with other friends and got angry, right? Cassie, can I speak? I was jealous in certain situations. Estevino, did there come a time he suspected you were in a relationship with someone in the industry? Dash, Mr. Muscati, Cuddy? Cassie, yes. Estevino, Mr. Combs thought it could be good for your career if you collaborated with Mr. Cuddy. I I mean Mr. Muscati. Cassie, yes. Estevino, why did you begin your relationship with Mr. Muscati? Cassie, we enjoyed each other's company. Estevino, you were in a relationship with Mr. Combs. Cassie, we were on a break. Estevino, but you were still doing FOs with Cassie. Yes. Estevino, after Mr. Combs found out by going through your phone, you went to see him, you knew he was upset. He previously attacked you. Cassie, yes. I thought I'd be safer with other people there. Judge, let's take a break. If yeah, he says let's take a break. So they take a break, and then at 2:33 they're back. Judge Samani. Okay, let's get Miss Ventura back and the jury. Jury enters. Estevino, your affair with Mr. Muscati was only a month long, but you got a burner phone for it? Cassie, right. Estevino, Mr. Combs kicked you in the back? Cassie, yes. Estevino, this came up later in your relationship that you had cheated on him with Kid Cudi. Cassie, he brought it up quite a bit. Estevino, when he cheated, he said, well, you had an affair with Kid Cudi, right? Cassie, sometimes. Estevito, he suspected you of having an affair with another person in the industry. You were in South Africa filming. While you were in South Africa filming. Cassie, yes. Honey 3. And then she laughs. Estevino, while you were there, You saw a photo of Mr. Combs with Gina and were irate, right? Cassie, angry. Estevino, you blocked him and focused on the movie, right? Cassie, I tried my best. Estevino, Mr. Combs subjected you to a relationship with whom? Cassie, Michael B. Jordan. Estevino, you sent a video not only to Mr. Combs, but also to staff. Who? D Rock? Cassie, yes. Estevino, you sent them because you were angry with all of them? Cassie, I was hurt. I sent all, I spent all my time with them. Estevito, you thought they were in on it? Estevito, the physical abuse, when did your father learn about it? Cassie, same time as my mother. Estevito, did Mr. Combs come to Connecticut to speak to your parents? Cassie, I don't know. If it was, I don't know if it was then. Estevino, Kerry Morgan knew about the abuse? Cassie, yes. Estevino, the eyebrow gash incident, what was it about? Cassie, um, didn't answer the phone and went to sleep. I was supposed to be picking, I was supposed to be packing for a trip. Estevino, he was inebriated. Cassie, I don't remember that. Estevito, why were you asleep? Cassie, a drink at the Abbey and had something in it, I think. Estevito, did Mr. Combs ever abuse you while he was inebriated? Then say he didn't remember? He didn't remember it? Cassie, yes. Estevito, did you feel he was not taking responsibility? Cassie, yes. Estevino, for drugs, you'd both go to rehab? Cassie, rehab wasn't really a thing during our relationship. Estevito, the FOs were an opportunity to take drugs together? Cassie, yes. Estevito, you went a lot to burning, what is it? Burning Man. Cassie, yes. Estevito, did you ever call yourselves get high partners? Cassie, we did. Estevito, did you take drugs from him without him knowing it? Cassie, yes. Estevito, what was his reaction? Cassie, explosive. Did did he tell LA dealers not to deal to you? Cassie, yeah. Estevito, you told Miss uh you told KK that you learned only after the fact that Mr. Combs had dangled Mr. I'm sorry, Mrs. Bongolian. Wait a minute. Bongolian, yeah, off the balcony. Cassie, I'm not sure. Estevito, Were you on drugs? Cassie, I'm not sure. Estevito, you got a life coach for your drug use. According to this document, Cassie, I don't know who that person is. Estevito, you were doing a lot of drugs? Cassie, it was a rough time. Estevito, you tried to get into a rehab. Golden Door? Cassie, it was a spa. There was a time I lost all sense of smell and and taste and woke up in the hospital with an IV in my arm. I tried to get help. I then tried to get help. Estevito, the time after San Bernardino, you learned that he overdosed? Cassie, a very strong oops, yes. Combs' attorney, were you ever not addicted to painkillers? Cassie, we took, what is that? Hold on. We took Abigail. Estevino, where did you get it? Cassie, Cancun, Mexico, separately. Estevito, when Mr. Combs threw you off the boat in Canas, when he accused you of taking drugs and squeeze your leg, Cassie, among other things, Estevito, but you still wanted to be with him? Cassie, I did. Estevito, switching topics. When you say Mr. Combs went with guns to find, oh, with pums, sorry, YouTube algorithm gods. When you say that Mr. Combs went with pums to find Suge Knight, do you remember telling government that you did go with them? Cassie, no. Estevito, let me show you. AUSA, just for parties. Ventura, I did not go with them. So I don't think I sat. Estevito, you also did drugs with Miss Morgan, right? Cassie, yes. Estevito, do you recall telling the government that you did not set what he did? Wait a minute. That's an error. It says, do you recall telling the government that you did not set what he did? Oh, it must be. It must mean C. Okay, see what he did. Hitting her in the head with a wooden hanger. Cassie, I saw the hanger. I saw he was angry. That was that I was doing drugs with Carrie, Cassie's attorney. This broke up your 17-year friendship with her. Cassie, it did. Estevito, did you tell Mr. Combs about your relationship with your now husband? Cassie, no. Estevito, Miss Morgan sued you and Mr. Combs. Cassie, made a demand, Estevito, and you paid part of that. Cassie, I did. Estevito, and you haven't spoken to her since? Cassie, maybe one text. Estevito, that was the relationship ender? Cassie, yes. Estevito, you would heat up the baby oil. Cassie, yes. Estevito, now, is this from the day before the Intercontinental Hotel incident? AUSA Johnson, this is a long document. We need time to read it. Judge, we'll take a break then. So they take a break. 4:08 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. They return. Judge, we're in the home stretch of the day. Let's get our jury back. All rise. Jury entering. Combs is attorney Escovedo. Is this from March 4th? AUSA. With UTC time, it is March 3rd. Escovedo. Okay. Okay. Mr. Combs refers to accessories. Cassie. For the premiere. Escovedo. You sent him an explicit message. Cassie, yes. Estevito, he responded with a number of M's. He wrote, too bad you have to work. LOL. Cassie, he did. Estevito, you ask him, are you feeling better? Then he's discussing bodily functions. Cassie, yes. Cassie, could we just clarify what time these messages are really from with the UCT? AUSA. There's a stipulation on that, and they actually include the document here. Can I take a screen grab of this real quick? I'm going to try to take a screen grab of it and see if I could post that on my community wall. But let's continue. I'm trying to get through this because I have something else to do today. Estevito, Mr. Combs went to your premiere lunch at the London Hotel. Cassie, he did. Estevito. Then he says, I just got out of a spiritual therapy session. Cassie, I asked, how did it go? Estevito, he said, it's a process. This is heading up to the hotel incident. Estevito, you say, baby, I want a FO so bad. You were asked in your direct, and you said you didn't want him to ruin your premiere. Cassie, sure. Estevito, Combs says if we start at 7 p.m. and go until 4 a.m., you can have enough rest after. Cassie, yes. Estevito, he's saying it'll be a shorter than usual FO. Cassie, that's how I would understand it. Estevito, what do you say? Cassie, Carrie is here. We can't do it at my house. Estevito, you say that guy is sick. I'm not going to ask you what you meant. Estevito, so you were turning to Johnny. Was he a dancer or a experience worker? Cassie, we hired him as a dancer, but he did what the experience folks do. Estevito, do you remember the beginning of this FO in the Intercontinental Hotel? Cassie, not really. Estevito, the drugs, wait a minute, the drugs were bad MDMA, right? Cassie, I have no idea. Judge, it's 5 o'clock. Jurors, you may go home. Do not look up anything about this case. All rise. Judge, thank you, Ms. Ventura. You, um, no discussions with the government. We'll see you tomorrow. Everyone else may be seated. Witness leaves. Judge, how much more, Estevito? Let me check. AUSA Johnson, half an hour on redirect. Agnafilo, we'll figure it out tomorrow. Judge, have your next witness ready tomorrow. Who are they? AUSA, Dawn Richard. Oh my goodness, guys. Dawn Richard. Do you guys know who Dawn Richard is? She is also an artist that was signed to Bad Boy Records, who filed a civil litigation in the state of New York against Diddy. I think that was in September of last year. She actually alleges that he pretty much raped her and physically assaulted her on multiple occasions. She said that he would withhold food from her and basically that power control dynamic. Judge, if there are any more issues, someone needs to email court. Again, issues off docket. Judge, adjourned. All right. So I'm guessing what's going to happen tomorrow is Cassie is going to be up first in the morning to finish up cross examination by the defense, and then the prosecution is going to be able to redirect, and then they'll be calling Dawn Richards. Wow. Okay, so that's pretty interesting stuff, guys. And I'm sorry to like rush through it. I'm trying to get through it in a bit of a rush because I do have to go to the store. Um, I just realized that I was out of creamer. And those of you who know me know how much I love my coffee. And I need creamer. So I gotta get up out of here. We will definitely recap. I'll actually tomorrow be starting a lot earlier than 11 or even 10. I'm gonna try to start at like 8 or 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. If you guys can join me in the morning. Well, actually, I might start at 9:30 just so we could have some live updates. But I could possibly start at 8 because remember, every single day before we get started, I will be playing the full audio. Hopefully, it will be available, but I'll be playing the full audio from the previous day's testimony just so we could refresh our memory on the points that either the prosecution or the defense touched on, and then we'll commence to going through the day. Thank you all for coming back. Replay gang, let's congregate in the comments. Let's talk about this. This is a pretty this is a pretty big deal. Um what are your thoughts? Any predictions yet? I know we're only in day 4, I'm sorry, of testimony, but I mean, you could definitely have an opinion. I see a lot of other vloggers and a lot of other commentators with very like it seems like they have already made up their mind on like innocence or guilt. I'm just interested. I want to poll my audience to see, what do you think? Is he innocent, guilty? I mean, we're not even halfway through, but I want to kind of check our temperature over here every so often. So let me know in the comments. Guys, if you're not already subscribed to the channel, please consider subscribing today. Be sure to set your notifications to all so that you're notified when I go live or add new content. I will catch you on the next one. Stay safe out there, guys. Oh, Libby Lou, thank you for being here. Lisa says what? Hey, hey. Bush babies, I see you. Thank you for being here. And who's that? Um, Lily, yours truly. Hey, how are you? You should just cat jet. I think you mean call Jeb jet submarine. It's so much easier to remember. I know, right? It's like I'm like submarinian, subramanian, sub. I've called him several different variations, and hopefully you guys know exactly who I'm talking about, and hopefully he never comes across one of my videos because he'll be like, "What is wrong with her? She's crazy. She said my name like 20 different ways." My apologies. Have a good one, guys. Until